Good evening, I'm Prasad. Zahid Hamidi had a lot to say last night, but there's more he did not say, which makes what he said somewhat less significant. As the Attorney General Idris Harun would tell you, a statement isn't enough to determine if a Prime Minister has the majority. Only MPs can determine that, and Umno MPs apparently can decide for themselves. Umno President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said many things in his press conference earlier this morning after the party's Supreme Council meeting.
Bahawa kerajaan pimpinan Perdana Menteri Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin telah gagal.
Zahid also announced that the party would withdraw its support for Muhyiddin.
Maka, tempoh memberikan sokongan kepada Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin selaku Perdana Menteri ditarik balik dan ditamatkan serta-merta.
After calling Muhyiddin by his official name, he even asked him to step down.
UMNO mendesak agar Tan Sri Muhyiddin dapat berundur secara terhormat.
However, a senior party figure said today, Zahid may have left out a very important detail.
Kenyataan yang dikeluarkan itu menjadi tidak lengkap berasas kepada maklumat yang saya terima kerana perkara-perkara yang diputuskan dalam mesyuarat tidak dimaklumkan kepada media menyebabkan berlaku kekeliruan.
According to Annuar, it was decided that UMNO's 38 MPs will be able to make up their own minds on whether they want to continue supporting the PN government or Muhyiddin.
Digunakan istilah itu apabila ada sebarang usul, sama ada usul percaya atau usul tidak percaya, ahli-ahli Parlimen UMNO diberikan kebebasan dan budi bicara. Pada masa yang sama, keputusan juga dibuat bahawasanya parti menarik, ini disebut dalam press release, parti memutuskan menarik sokongan kepada Perdana Menteri berkuat kuasa serta-merta. Dua perkara ini patutnya disiarkan serentak, kalau tidak dia menimbulkan keraguan.
Meanwhile, former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak, who endorsed UMNO's decision to retract its support for Muhyiddin, emphasized that the withdrawal of support was targeted at Muhyiddin and not the PN government. Najib proposed for an interim government to take over, which would serve no more than 6 months. The PN government has been inspiring a lot of hashtags recently, but before we look at what the latest hashtag is, I just want to say Malaysia needs a free press more than ever, and we really need your help. Click on the link in the description and find out how you can contribute. Hashtag Kerajaan Tumbang has emerged as a trending topic in Malaysia, less than 12 hours after UMNO announced it will be pulling its support for Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin. As of 11:30 this morning, the hashtag, which means collapse government, was mentioned in almost 6,000 tweets. Malaysia Kini reported that many have expressed frustration at more political drama at a time when COVID-19 cases and deaths are rising. Meanwhile, opposition politicians have begun putting pressure on Muhyiddin to resign. PKR lawmaker Simza Zin said Muhyiddin ought to resign as he had lost the support of a majority of MPs. In a statement issued this morning, Sim said Muhyiddin has no more excuse not to resign. He added that in a Westminster system, support for the PM is determined by the party. If a government component party withdraws its support, the government will fall. DAP lawmaker Abdul Aziz Bari suggested that Muhyiddin step down and serve as a caretaker Prime Minister until a new government was formed. According to him, the Perikatan Nasional government has already fallen subsequent to UMNO's decision. With Zahid saying the party no longer supports Muhyiddin Yassin, Parliament will be the place for Muhyiddin to prove that he still has the numbers. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has little choice but to seek a vote of confidence in the upcoming Parliament sitting, said former Attorney General Muhammad Apandi Ali. This comes after the UMNO Supreme Council decided that the party will retract support for Muhyiddin immediately. Speaking to Malaysia Kini this morning, Apandi said if Muhyiddin wins the vote of confidence with the support of all MPs who are in the cabinet, nothing will happen until the next general election. However, if the Prime Minister fails to gather support for the vote of confidence, he and the Cabinet have to resign, and he has to advise the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to dissolve Parliament. Apandi added that upon the dissolution of Parliament, the Prime Minister and the current Cabinet will remain as the caretaker government for a maximum period of 60 days. Apandi also said that the national vaccination process must be completed during these 60 days so that it is conducive to hold a general election. Parliament is expected to convene on July 26th during the ongoing movement control order. MCA and MIC have made their position clear. They will stick with PN.
UMNO may not want to work with the Perikatan Nasional government, but its partners in Barisan Nasional are likely to continue backing PN until the next general election. MCA Secretary General Chong Sin Boon said BN's official position is to support the PN government until the next election. He was quoted by Free Malaysia Today as saying that unless BN makes a new decision, MCA will continue to support PN until the next election. MIC President S. Vikneshwaran, who was also quoted in the same report, played down UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's call for Muhyiddin to resign. He said when BN was in power, the opposition had demanded their then Prime Minister to resign many times, but they did nothing because they knew it was just a demand. Vikneshwaran also questioned whether Zahid would be able to get leaders from his own party to resign from the government. Zahid yesterday managed to get the UMNO Supreme Council, which he has majority influence over, to withdraw support for Muhyiddin. However, Zahid does not have majority control of UMNO's 38 MPs, most of whom are aligned with UMNO Vice President Ismail Sabri Yaakob and ex-UMNO Vice President Hishamuddin Hussain. Ismail and Hishamuddin were yesterday given promotions in the PN government. Ismail is now Deputy Prime Minister, while Hishamuddin has been promoted to Senior Foreign Affairs Minister.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Can you receive an empty COVID-19 vaccine shot? Following a complaint, the Selangor Health Director says it's very unlikely.
The Selangor Health Department last night said that it was almost impossible for anyone to receive an empty shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. This came after a vaccine recipient lodged a police report claiming that he was injected with an empty syringe at the Banting Hospital on Tuesday. In a statement yesterday, Selangor Health Department Director Dr. Syahri Ngadiman said that vaccinators are chosen from the department staff members who have been trained and certified by the department, and at least 2 staff members are on duty at each vaccination station. He said, quote, "One of the staff members would act as a vaccinator, while the other will be responsible for preparing the vaccine and as a witness during the vaccination process." Syahri added that it is almost impossible for an empty shot to be given to any recipient with the compliance of the stated procedures. However, it was not included in the statement whether the procedures were strictly followed when the vaccine was administered to the complainant.
And that is all for me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.